Okay, page 37. Okay, amortization, what is that? The amount of time required to pay off your mortgage, right? Amortization, that's what that means. So let's dive into our first example. Jamal purchased a vehicle for 12 grand and needs to borrow 10 grand. What? So that means that Jamal had 2,000 as a down payment, right? I'm going to highlight on page 37 that that's what we need to borrow. This is our interest rate for 3 years. Complete the amortization table below. Guys, can I say something? It's a blank amortization table, completely empty. That's when you have to do what I'm about to show you. If it's partially filled in, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Monthly payment. I'm just going to fast forward to this part. It's 10,000. That's your loan. Times. If you match 4.25% over 3 years in your amortization on the table, which is on page 32, you get this. Let me just give you what that is so we don't need to go look for it. You get here 29.69. Okay. This is from the table, on page 32. Just tell yourself that so you're not wondering, like, where did that number come from? Okay, I already got that table rate. We're going to figure out our payment. Our payment is $296.90 per month. Never changes. This never changes, so watch. We're going to do an amortization table. Basically, it's an X-ray of the payments. Okay, we're going to break it apart. We're going to look right into the payment. You take this payment, make sure you write this down, $296.90, $296.90, $296.90. That doesn't change. Once you have the payment figured out, the monthly payment will not change. Everything else will change. Everything else will change. Okay. So, ready? Nothing new here. To figure out the monthly interest, I'm going to go like this. Loan. You know what? I'm going to change this one slightly. Sorry about that, because I'm afraid you might make a mistake. So erase. I'm going to erase everything. Just going to go start way on the left side. It's unpaid balance times interest rate divided by 100. All of that divided by 12. What's your unpaid balance, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. This is unpaid balance. Use a highlighter to kind of tell you that's what unpaid balance is, which at the beginning is your loan. The very first line, it's going to be your loan. But for amortization tables, I adjusted slightly. So here it is, guys. This is super fun. I is unpaid balance, 10,000, times interest rate, which is 4.25%, divided by 100. All of that divided by 12. You have to do the divided by 12 every single time. And here's your answer. Grab your calculator. I'll show you exactly how I typed this in. 10,000 times 4.25 divided by 100, and then that divided by 12. So 35, you got to round correctly, 35.42. Nice and big. So the first payment, your bank will take 35.42, thank you very much, in their pocket. And then the rest, so you're going to go this minus that to give you this value right here. So watch what I'm going to do at the top here. principal is going to be payment minus I. Payment minus I. So you can take the 296.90 minus 35.42, and you got this number, subtract it, and then what you get there is 261.48. And where does this money go? This is what they take to actually bring down the amount owing, which we call the unpaid balance. So we take this number, you bring this over here, you go minus 261.48. Does that ring a bell at all from grade 11? Hopefully a little bit. The only bell that rings for me, Mr. Dirksen, is the lunch bell, right? Like that's the only one that I can think of right now. 10,000 minus 261.48. So now, after the first month, you owe them this much money. So your unpaid balance has gone down slightly, but not by your payment. Not by your payment. They take off the interest, and then there's whatever is left is what they apply here. So I'm going to go arrow, right? I don't know if you want to go arrow up like that, telling you that, hey, I did that. And up top are the formulas. By the way, guys, interest, the monthly, that's lowercase I. Put a big lowercase I. A big lowercase I. That kind of sounds like an oxymoron, right? And then a lowercase p, right? Because P and I always make up your payment, right? So put a big PMT on top of the payment, right? Like these two little pieces always make up your payment, right? So we kind of just work our way through it to fill out the first one. What time is it? 9:13. One more row, guys, and then I'll let you go. That's it. One more row. So this number follows you to the second month. So let's go. I is equal to 97.38.52. The whole thing repeats itself. Some of you might say, Mr. Dirksen, I know that 4.25% is 0.0425. Can I just use that? You go for it. But I want to make sure I stay consistent, right? No matter what I do. True or false, my interest is going to be a little less for the second month. I might a little less because I owe a little less. So a little less they're going to take off, right? So just make sure you see that pattern. So I'm going to go 97.38.52 times 4.25 divided by 100 equals. Then I go divided by 12. And there it is. Not by much, but it did go down a little bit, which means there's more money that I can use towards bringing down my unpaid balance. So I go 296.90. So my payment, I take that back here, and I go minus 34.49. If you are clever and you're creative with highlighters, you can probably color code everything so that it kind of sticks out to you. So watch, right? There's a little bit more. So I take this number and I go minus 262.41. And now I owe even less. So it's 94.76.11. Okay? That's it. If you can stand a little bit more, I invite you to do the last row and I'll give you the answer there. It's supposed to be 92.12.77. before you go today, if you can do that last row, see if you get that right, because your brain is going to make a connection if you do it yourselves, okay? And that's it for today. I'm going to do a bit more tomorrow.